Hello, everybody. In today's lesson, we're going to be working on patterns with decimals, and we're on lesson 3.10, and we're on page 147 of the fifth grade Go Math textbook. So, our essential question that we should be able to answer by the end of our lesson today is how can we use addition or subtraction to describe a pattern or create a sequence with decimals? So, let's look at the unlock the problem. A state park rents canoes for guests to use at the lake. It costs $5 to rent a canoe for 1 hour, $6.75 for 2 hours, $8.50 for 3 hours, and $10.25 for 4 hours. If this pattern continues, how much should it cost Jason to rent a canoe for 7 hours? So that's what we have to figure out. We have to extend the pattern for 7 hours. So this is a sequence, and that means it's an ordered list of numbers. A term is each number in a sequence. So we can find the pattern in a sequence by comparing one term with the next term. The pattern needs to be the same for each number in the pattern for it to follow a rule. So step one, write the terms you know in a sequence. So they gave us $5. They gave us $6.75, $8.50, and $10.25. And these were the number of hours for each of those terms. So to go from $5 to $6.75, that was an increase of $1.75. So is $6.75 plus $1.75 $8.50? Well, 5 and 5 is 10. We'll regroup that as 1/10 and 0 hundredths. 7 tenths and 7 tenths is 14 tenths, plus the regroup tenth is 15 tenths. Regroup that as 1 and 5 tenths. Place the decimals, since you're finished doing the decimal portion of the problem, and add the ones. 6 and 1 is 7, plus the regrouped 1, 8. So yes, it is adding 175. All right, so write a rule that describes the pattern in the sequence. What's happening from one term to the next term? We're adding $1.75 to each additional hour. So let's extend the sequence to solve the problem. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. We need 7 hours. So 10.25 plus $1.75. 5 and 5 is 10 hundredths. Regroup that as 1/10 and 0 hundredths. 7 and 2 is 9, plus the regroup tenth is 10 tenths. Regroup that as 1 and 0 tenths. 1 and 1 is 2, and 1 plus no tens is 1/10. So we get $12 for the 5th hour. The 6th hour, 12 plus 175. Well, 75 cents plus nothing is 75 cents. $2 plus $1 is 3, and 1/10 is 1. So 13.75. And then finally 13.75 plus 175, because we're at 6 hours right now. 5 and 5 is 10. Regroup that as 1/10 and 0 hundredths. 7 and 7 is 14. Plus the regroup tenth is 15. Regroup that as 1 and 5 tenths. Place your decimal and add the ones. 13 and 1, we know that's going to be 14, right? Plus 1 is 15. So $15.50 to rent a canoe for 7 hours. What observation can you make about the pattern in the sequence that will help you write a rule? Well, first off, are the terms increasing or decreasing? Are the numbers getting bigger or getting smaller? Well, they're increasing, right? So the terms are increasing by the same amount. So if they're increasing by the same amount, that means we're going to add. So the rule requires addition. If the numbers were decreasing from one term to the next, we know we would have to subtract. All right, so let's go to page 148. All right, write a rule for the pattern in the sequence. So we're going from 29.6 to 28.3 to 27 to 27.5, 20.5, 19.2. So they're getting smaller, right? So we're decreasing. So how much are we decreasing by? Well, let's see. 29.6 take away 28.3. Well, 6 tenths take away 3 tenths is 3 tenths. Place the decimal and subtract the whole numbers. 29 take away 28. That's just going to be 1, right? So 1.3. So to go from here to here, you're going to subtract 1.3. Let's check these last two. 20.5 minus 19.2. 5 tenths take away 2 tenths is 3 tenths. We're finished with the decimal portion, so put the decimal point and move to the ones. I see 20 take away 19. That's 1. So yes, the rule is going to be subtract 1.3. So if I take away 1.3 from 28.3, I wind up with 27. All right, so now, how do I know what the next term is? Well, write a rule that describes the pattern in the sequence. If it was increasing, I would say use addition. If it's decreasing, we're going to use subtraction. So we already said that we knew it was decreasing from one term to the next. So our rule is subtract 1 and 3 tenths. All right, so all we have to do is keep subtracting to figure out our missing terms. So 25 and 7 tenths was the last number known, and we're going to subtract 1 and 3 tenths. 7 tenths take away 3 tenths is 4 tenths. Place the decimal. 5 ones take away 4 ones is 4. And 2 tens take away nothing is 2 tenths. So 24 and 4 tenths. Then 24 and 4 tenths take away 1 and 3 tenths. 4 tenths take away 3 tenths is 1 tenth. Basically 24 take away 1 is 23. So now we're at 23 and 1 tenths. And we have to subtract one more time. 23 and 1 tenth take away 1 and 3 tenths. 3 from 1 tenth, you can't do that, so let's regroup from the ones and give 10 tenths to the tenths. 11 tenths take away 3 tenths is 8 tenths. Place the decimal, and now we have 22 take away 1. That's 21. Okay, so those are our missing numbers. All right, now explain how you know whether your rule for a sequence would involve addition or subtraction. If it's increasing, if the terms increase from one term to the next, it could involve the rule could involve addition. If the terms are decreasing, all right. So basically, from one term to the next, if the numbers are increasing, the rule may involve addition. If the numbers are decreasing from one to the next, it may be using subtraction. All right, so A, write a rule for the sequence, then find the unknown term. So we have 65.9 and 65 and 3 tenths. Well, 65 and 3 tenths is less than 65 and 9 tenths. So then I see 64, 63, 62. It's going down, right? So probably subtraction. So 65 and 9 tenths take away 65 and 3 tenths. 9 tenths take away 3 tenths is 6 tenths. Place the decimal, and 65 take away 65 is 0. So from here to here, it's decreasing by 0.6 or 6 tenths. That should be true of all the terms. So let's check one more. And how much is it decreasing from 64 and 1 tenth to 63 and 5 tenths? I can't take 5 tenths from 1 tenth. So regroup from the ones. 11 tenths take away 5 tenths is 6 tenths. Place the decimal, and 63 take away 63 is 0. So that is decreasing 6 tenths. And 63.5 take away 62.9. I can't take 9 from 5, so let's regroup. 15 take away 9, that's 6. Place the decimal, and 62 take away 62 is 0. So they're all decreasing by 0.6. So the rule is subtract 6 tenths. So what is 65 and 3 tenths? Take away 6 tenths. Well, you can't take 6 tenths from 3 tenths, so regroup. 13 tenths take away 6 tenths is 7 tenths. And 64 take away nothing is 64. So 64 and 7 tenths is our missing number. All right, now write the first 4 terms of the sequence. So if they give us the first term and a rule, all we have to do is apply the rule to the first term and stop where they want us to. Okay, so 35 hundredths plus 15 hundredths. 5 and 5 hundredths is 10 hundredths. Regroup that as 1 tenth and 0 hundredths. 3 tenths plus 1 tenth is 4, plus the regroup tenth is 5 tenths. Place the decimal, and there aren't any ones. So 0.5 or 50 hundredths. Add 15 hundredths to 50 hundredths. 5 hundredths plus 0 hundredths, 5 hundredths. 5 tenths plus 1 tenth, 6 tenths. And 0 ones plus 0 ones is 0. So 65 hundredths. And the last one, 65 hundredths plus 15 hundredths. 5 hundredths plus 5 hundredths is 10 hundredths. 6 tenths plus 1 tenth is 7 tenths, plus the regroup tenth. So 80 hundredths. Okay? So that's all we're doing in this lesson, looking for patterns and applying the rules. All right, write a rule for the sequence. Think, is the sequence increasing or decreasing? Increasing or decreasing? 1/2 to 1.8 to 3 to 4. It's going up. So our rule probably is going to be add something. So how can we figure that out? Well, we can take the last term and subtract the previous term. 4 tenths take away 1 tenth is 3 tenths, and 4 ones take away 3 ones is 1. So from here to here, it had to increase 1.3. Is 1.3 plus 5 tenths 1.8? Yeah, it is. So is 1.8 plus 1.3 3.1? 8 tenths plus 3 tenths is 11 tenths. Regroup that as 1, 1, and 1 tenth. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus the regrouped 1 is 3. Okay, so what's our rule? Add 1 and 3 tenths. Okay, number 2. Like if I look at just the whole numbers, 23, 22, 21, 19, it's going down. So probably going to be subtract. Subtract what? Well, 23.2, take away 22.1. 2 tenths take away 1 tenth is 1 tenth. And 23 take away 22 is 1. So that is subtract 1.1. 22.1 take away 1.1. 1 tenth take away 1 tenth is 0. 22 take away 1 is 21. So, all right, so our rule is subtract 1 and 1 tenth. Number 3, write a rule for the sequence, then find the unknown term. So we're going from 3 tenths to 1 to something to 3 to 5. It's going up. Okay, so how did they go from 3 tenths to 1 and 5 tenths? Well, we can subtract them to find the difference. 5 tenths take away 3 tenths is 2 tenths, and 1 take away nothing is 1. So this is increasing by 1.2, or 1 and 2 tenths. We can confirm that by adding 1 and 2 tenths to 3 and 9 tenths. 9 and 2 tenths is 11 tenths. Regroup that as 1 whole and 1 tenth. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus the regrouped 1, 5. So 5 and 1 tenths is the that confirmed that we're adding 1 and 2 tenths. So what's the missing value? 1 and 5 tenths plus 1 and 2 tenths. 5 and 2 tenths is 7 tenths, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So our missing value is 2 and 7 tenths. All right, number 4. If I just look at the whole numbers, I'm going from 19 to 18 to 17. So we're decreasing. Okay. So how much are we decreasing by? 19 and 5 tenths take away 18 and 8 tenths. I can't take 8 tenths from 5 tenths, so let's regroup. 15 tenths take away 8 tenths is 7 tenths. Place our decimal, and 18 take away 18 is 0. So we're going down 7 tenths. Let's confirm that by doing one more. 18 and 8 tenths take away 18 and 1 tenth. 0 and 7 tenths. Okay, so subtract 7 tenths. 17.4 is the last known term. So if I subtract 7 tenths, that'll tell me the missing value. I can't take 7 tenths from 4 tenths, so I'm going to regroup. 14 tenths take away 7 tenths is 7 tenths. And 16 take away nothing is 16. So the last number in our sequence is 16 and 7 tenths. All right, number 5. The rule is start at 10 and 64 hundredths and subtract 1 and 45 hundredths. All right, I can take 5 and 4, so let's regroup from the tenths. 14 hundredths take away 5 hundredths is 9 hundredths. Move to the tenths. 5 tenths take away 4 tenths is 1. We're now moving to the 1, so place your decimal. And 10 take away 1 is 9. So 9 and 19 hundredths. Let's subtract another 1 and 45 hundredths. 9 hundredths take away 5 hundredths is 4 hundredths. I can't take 4 tenths from 1 tenth, so let's regroup. 11 tenths take away 4 tenths is 7 tenths. And 8 take away 1 is 7. All right. So 7 and 74 hundredths, and we have one more term. 1 and 45 hundredths. Can't take 5 from 4 hundredths, so let's regroup. 14 hundredths, take away 5 is 9 hundredths. 6 tenths, take away 4 tenths is 2 tenths. And 7 take away 1 is 6. Okay, 6 and 29 hundredths is the last term. Number 6. Start at 87 hundredths and add 2 and 15 hundredths. All right, 7 hundredths plus 5 hundredths is 12 hundredths. Regroup that as 1 tenth and 2 hundredths. 8 and 1 is 9 tenths, plus the regroup tenth is 10 tenths. Regroup that as 1 whole and 0 tenths. We're moving over to the 1, so add your decimal point. 2 and 1 is 3, so 3.02. Add 2 and 15 hundredths to that. 5 and 2 is 7 hundredths. 1 and 0 tenths is 1 tenth. We're moving to the 1, so place your decimal. And 3 plus 2 is 5. And we have to add 2 and 15 hundredths one more time. 7 and 5 is 12. Regroup that as 1 tenth and 2 hundredths. 1 and 1 is 2 hundredths, plus the 1 and 1 tenth is 2 tenths, plus the regroup tenth is 3 tenths. We don't have to regroup, but we are moving to the 1, so place your decimal. 5 ones plus 2 ones, 7. So 7 and 32 hundredths. Number 7, our rule is 19 and 3 tenths. Start there and add 1.8. So 19 and 3 tenths plus 1 and 8 tenths. 8 and 3 tenths is 11 tenths. Regroup that as 1, 1 and 1 tenth. 9 and 1 is 10, plus the regrouped 1 is 11 ones. So 21.1. Add 1.8 to that. 8 tenths plus 1 tenth is 9 tenths. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 tenths plus no 10 is 2 tenths. So 22 and 9 tenths. And add 1.8 to that. 8 and 7 is 17 tenths. We're going to regroup that as 1, 1 and 7 tenths. Place your decimal, because we're moving to the ones. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the regrouped 1 is 4 ones, and then 2 tenths plus nothing is 2 tenths. So 24 and 7 tenths. And number 8, 29 and 7 tenths, and we have to subtract 4 tenths. All right, so the next term, 7 take away 4 is 3 tenths. Place our decimal, and 29 take away nothing is 29. So 29 and 3 tenths. Subtract 4 tenths from that. You can't take 4 tenths from 3 tenths. So regroup and give 10 tenths to the tenths. 13 tenths, take away 4 tenths is 9 tenths. Place the decimal and subtract the whole numbers. 28 take away nothing, 28. And finally subtract 4 tenths from that. 9 tenths take away 4 tenths is 5 tenths. 28 take away nothing is 28. So 28 and 5 tenths. All right, number 9. Marta put $4.87 in her coin bank. Each day she added 1 quarter, 1 nickel, and 3 pennies. How much money was in her coin bank after 6 days? Describe the pattern you used to solve. Well, so we know that she's starting at $4.87. And we want to know how much she has after 6 days. So this isn't one of the days. She's going to add a certain amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 6 days. So how much is she adding each day? How much money will she have in her bank after 6 days? She's adding a quarter, a nickel, and 3 pennies. Well, a quarter is 25 cents. A nickel is 5 cents. So 25 plus 5 is 30. Plus 3 pennies, which is worth 100th. So that's 25 plus 5 plus 3, 28 cents. I'm sorry, 33 cents. 25 plus 5 is 30, plus 3 more is 33. So we're going to be adding 33 hundredths, or 33 cents. So 487 plus 33 hundredths. 7 and 3 hundredths is 10 hundredths. Regroup that as 1/10 and 0 hundredths. 8 and 3 tenths is 11 tenths, plus the regroup tenth is 12 tenths. Regroup that as 1 and 2 tenths, and add the 4 plus the regrouped 1, 520. So after the first day, she has $5.20. After the next day, she's going to put in 33 more cents again. So 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 tenths plus 2 tenths is 5 tenths. We're moving to the ones and place the decimal. And then 5 plus nothing is 5. So $5.53. Okay. Add 33 cents to that. 3 and 3 is 6. 5 and 3 is 8 tenths. Place the decimal and move to the ones. $5.86. Add 33 cents to that. 600 plus 300 is 9 hundredths. 8 tenths plus 3 tenths is 11 tenths. Moving to the ones, 5 and 1 is 6. $6.19. Okay, add 33 cents to that. 9 and 3 is 12. Regroup that as 1/10 and 2 hundredths. 3 plus 1/10 is 4 tenths, plus the regroup tenth, 5. We're moving to the one, so place your decimal, and we're at 652. All right, and last, add 33 cents to that. So 3 and 2 hundredths is 5 hundredths. 5 tenths and 3 tenths is 8 tenths. Place the decimal, and we're at $6.85. Okay. Look at the list below for number 10. Do the numbers show a pattern? All right, well, let's see. So to go from here to here, it looks like it's getting smaller, right? So let's subtract to find out how much it's decreasing. I can't take 5 from 3 hundredths, so let's regroup. 13 hundredths take away 5 hundredths is 8 hundredths. I can't take 7 from 1, so let's regroup from the ones. 11 tenths take away 7 tenths is 4 tenths. And place the decimal, and then basically 10 take away 10, that's 0. So this is decreasing by 48 hundredths. All right, 10.75 take away 10.3, 0. Well, 5 take away 0 is 5 hundredths. 7 tenths take away 3 tenths is 4 tenths. So to go from this term to this term is decreasing by 45 hundredths. Well, that doesn't follow a pattern then, right? So no. The terms are not by the same amount. Oh, the terms are not decreasing by the same amount, so there's no rule there. All right, so let's look at page 150. Number 11. Brent has a deck of cards as shown below. Each card is labeled with a rule describing a pattern in a sequence. Select a card and decide on a starting number. Use the rule to write the first 5 terms in your sequence. So there's a wide variety of different answers for this one. Okay, so it really doesn't matter. So I don't know. I might start at 1 and 3 tenths. And let's say I'm going to add 1.6. Well, 1.6 plus 1.3 is 2 and 9 tenths. If I take 2 and 9 tenths and add 1.6 to that, 9 tenths and 6 tenths is 15 tenths. Regroup as 1 whole and 5 tenths. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the regrouped 1 is 4. So 4.4 and 5 tenths. Add 1.6 to that. 6 tenths plus 5 tenths is 11 tenths. Regroup as 1 whole and 1 tenth. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus the regrouped 1 is 6. And I have to add 1.6 one more time. So 6 plus 1 is 7 tenths, and 6 ones plus 1 is 7. So again, it could be multiple things. Like here, you could just add a quarter to something. Okay. All right, write a problem that relates to your sequence. All right, well, I don't know. Let's see. A plant is 1 and 3 feet tall at the end of 1 month. If it grows 1 and 6/10 feet each month after that, how tall will a plant be after 7 months? Because we have to extend it. Okay, it says to extend the sequence. So we were at 7.7, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. So let's add 2 more days. Okay, so we're at 7.7. We're going to add 1.6 to that. 7 plus 6 is 13 tenths. Regroup that as 1 whole and 3 tenths. 7 and 1 is 8, plus the regrouped 1 is 9. So 9.3. And then finally, 9.3 plus 1.6. So 1.6 plus 3 tenths is 9 tenths, and 9 plus 1 is 10. So 10 and 9 tenths. All right, number 12. Colleen and Tom are playing a number pattern game. Tom wrote the following sequence. He went from 33 to 34 to 35 and finishing at 37. So it's going up, right? So he's adding what? Well, let's take those two terms and subtract to find out how much it's increasing by. 6 tenths take away 5 tenths is 1 tenth. Place the decimal. And 34 take away 33 is 1. So he's adding 1.1 to each number. Let's see if that's true. So we're at 34.6. If I add 1 and 1/10, I should get 35 and 7/10. 6 and 1/10 is 7/10. 3 and 4 is 5 ones and 3 tens. So 35.7. Yeah. All right. So he's adding 1.1. So let's just add 1 and 1/10. That'll tell us the missing number. 7/10 and 1/10, 8/10. Place the decimal, and 35 plus 1 is 36. So the unknown number, 36 and 8/10. Okay, so that's all there is to this one. We're basically identifying the patterns, applying what we've learned about adding and subtracting decimals to find unknown terms. Okay, in our next lesson, we'll be working on problem solving and using adding and subtracting money. So until then, I'll see you soon.